the M3. What is going to be coming of it for 2027? The good news is it's not electric.
It's not
So
electric.
there probably will be an electric version, especially with the Gen 6 battery coming out. You're going to be seeing a whole lineup of BMWs coming. I think we have almost 10 new models coming out between now and 2030. So there's a lot of good things coming BMW's way, and one of the big ones is the new I always mess that up.
Neue Klasse.
Noah Classa, and that is BMW's new line. They're not necessarily, I wouldn't say, changing the brand, but just as older M3s and the older BMWs kind of have a nostalgia to them, now even the 2026s and the 2025s are going to have that same sort of timeless kind of appeal because of the vast change that BMW is doing.
But really, it's just kind of it's a new era, right? Like you think about when the new M3 and the new M4 came out, they talk about the nostrils and the grill and how big it was. We can't keep those things around, right? Like they sell as quick as they come in. They're really customizable, right? There's been so many twists, especially in the aftermarket world, accessories. We've seen a ton of examples. That's really cool. But this Neue Klasse, right? Like this new era, they're talking about new driving dynamics, whole new body styles, right? Like you mentioned, the 10 new models. You're looking at just a various amount of things, new technology on the infotainment, right? With the new iX3 coming, we're seeing that bigger screen, with kind of that, what's that line that goes all the way across up there? But again, it's kind of that heads-up display.
Oh, it's the whole screen.
So it's going to be pretty exciting, right? And like you mentioned, the M3 is cool. The great news about BMWs, they realize there's a huge market for the ICE. So it's for, again, internal combustion engine. But also with the i3 coming out and then turning that into an M variant too is going to be pretty cool. They have a segment out there, and I don't remember the name of it, but if you went out there, and I've probably seen it, they have a couple different episodes of like the development of the new M3 and the i3 and how they're going to be in the elements. And then the Heart of Joy and how that pairs up, right? That new like super brain BMW's calling it that controls again all the different driving dynamics, suspension, etc. It's pretty cool to see all the progress they're making, and I think it's gonna be a great vehicle.
BMW, like I said, going back to the controversy, I think there's a lot of pain points when talking about where they're going, but that's something that's been talked about. Pain points as in like design. It was talked about with the G80, the buck tooth design and look. But that's going to be, I mean, that was bold. And now people, there's a lot of folks, I'd say more so than others, that love it. And the G80 is the thing, making it just as nostalgic as the old E46 and the older models because of the vast change. I think just also what you said as far as giving the consumers options. BMW is not going to be like some of these other big brands where they're pushing towards doing this all electric notion or all electric idea. Some of them have seen the repercussions of that. I'm not going to name names, but there's definitely a lot of value in letting customers and the consumers choose what they want, whether that is the all electric, there's a partial hybrid electric vehicle, or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and then your internal combustion engine. So there's going to be a lot of new product that comes out, but there's going to be, more importantly, options for the consumer, which is huge. I think that plays in part too with where BMW falls out within Consumer Reports. They've been ranking high the last, 4 or 5 years in a row, and that's you guys as the consumers speaking, not us as BMW car fanatics.
To touch on the options, right? We can't really talk about options and performance without mentioning what's been rumored pretty heavy and coming soon now is the all-wheel drive M2, right? We're really excited to have that product, and it sounds like it is going to be coming soon, probably later this year, maybe early 27. Don't really have confirmed dates yet.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, I know we both spent a lot of time in that car and had the opportunity to drive around a track in that vehicle and how fun and nimble it is. But now you turn that traction into 2 additional wheels. I mean, you've got a car that's going to glue to the ground and really do whatever you want it to do and put a lot of it down with no issues.
That's been the topic of discussion for probably, I would say, the last 3 to 4 years with the all-wheel. Once they came out with the G80, M3, and your M4 being able to have that all-wheel drive chassis, I mean, you transform the entire brand and broaden your scope on allowing I mean, name another car that you can take from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive at the click of a button. You have two
That's
different
exactly what I was
tunes.
just gonna say too.
Two
Yeah, the
different
ability to do that
tunes.
is
Yeah,
huge.
is huge. So now that they've added now the M2 in there, that's gonna be big for the brand, and that M2 is by far the funnest on the track. It's light, tons of power they derived out of that straight six. Fun car to drive when you add that all-wheel drive system to it. I'm curious to see all these guys that are building these M3s and what
Yeah.
they're gonna be able to do with this M2
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
because it is. It's gonna be wild.
The people that have the amount of power that is put through this factory engine with no issues is really
Yeah.
pretty crazy. You know, everybody talks about the N54 and those engines that were kind of bulletproof, right? And the B58 is kind of touted as one of those as well. But I would say the S58 is right up there too. It's really been a phenomenal engine. Fuel mileage that comes out of that car is really respectful too
Yeah.
for what it does and what you're buying that vehicle to do, right?
Buying it for the fuel economy.
Yeah, of course, right?
Exactly. It's a turnkey of a car. You don't have to do anything to it. By no means are saying go out and mod your car, but there are some people that take it to the extremes and build them. And it's just always cool and interesting to see those folks and what they're able to do with what BMW's already provided as a out of the factory a race car. So, and I think it's gonna be fun to see what they do. They're thinking about maybe adding a new color to the color palette on the M2.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's all kind of speculation at this point on what that color might be. The other cool thing, I'll let you touch on it, is the individual process here and what we're able to do from the factory with these cars.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was leading into, right? Again, options, right? It's kind of BMW's thing, which is great if you're somebody who likes to add a little personal touch, be different than what everybody else has. Walking in this morning, I think you can attest, right? Another crazy example, an awesome spec of a vehicle, right? Daytona Beach Blue over Columbia Orange with carbon buckets, carbon ceramic brakes, right? Just kind of a vehicle that quite literally stopped me in my tracks this morning. Just never get tired of seeing these cool colors and options that our clients come up with. But yeah, the individual program is awesome. I think it's something that this is a great example of, and we've started to utilize very well, not only on the BMW side, but through the SB Bespoke program with Land Rover as well. But just having that opportunity to pick something different, right? Pick a different color. If you don't see it online, odds are we can get you a color that's very close. But the different unique interiors, if you're looking at Land Rover in the Bespoke program, different colored stitchings, really you can make it one of one, right? Which is kind of how they tout it. So if you're a big Husker fan, right, you want that Nebraska logo on the puddle light when you open the door, and you want Nebraska logos in the headrest, we can do that, right? You want red stitching with a white or Perlino interior, you could really make it your own. So and obviously on the BMW side, you've got your color wall, right? So a lot of examples of those individual colors. I know a lot of people like to see that. Even some of our standard stuff, right? How many times have we debated Alpine white and mineral white and which one's more white? And I think we've kind of come to the conclusion on that. But just getting to see the paints in person and even some of the leather and interior materials is really helpful.
I want to say it's just over a half a dozen items on the car still hand painted when you do that individual color spec. It's just a very unique, even just more so unique to make it more personal, like Dylan was saying. It extends out the build time a little bit, but when you're, spending that kind of money, it's nice to get exactly what you want.
Our
But
car
yeah.
community is great, but it's really cool to see our clients in our vehicles, right? How many with these individual and one-off cars, you get to see them driving around this morning, 37 degrees, top down M4 convertible G82, rolling on his way to wherever they're going, right? Right after that, we had that awesome spec G80, that green, Isleman green. We had the M spoiler on the back. You had the bronze dipped wheels. So again, just seeing them out in the wild, and that's another thing that speaks to those vehicles, the daily ability, covered in sweaty you daily, the G82, right? It's a phenomenal vehicle, regardless, rain, snow, shine, snow tires. I mean, you really can't, if you don't need the extra space, right, for say a big SUV or a truck, there's really no better vehicle if you like going fast and in a luxury vehicle.
And I think that, they take it easy on them and they, for lack of a better word, scared to get on it or kind of drive it. And it's like, that's what these cars are built for. I mean, the ultimate driving machine, why BMW has phrased that and why that's been pertinent for as long as BMW's been around is because of the sheer engineering and design and everything that goes into these vehicles. But yeah, seeing the cars out in the wild, that's one of the best feelings. You see, on our Nebraska car spotters on what, if you get spotted, I've had probably half a dozen or more clients
Feels
where
good, right? Yeah.
yeah, I sent it out to him. I texted it to him like, "Look, you got spotted,"
Yeah.
So there's a huge tailored experience that you can have here with getting your next vehicle and building, your dream ride to essentially whatever is available. And so it's a fun process, and we enjoy doing it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Really, if you even wanted to go that extra step further and having your kind of toed in the water a little bit, performance center delivery.
that's huge.
That's a very cool experience. If you guys haven't had a chance to take an opportunity of that, for those of you who have, you know how awesome it is. Those of you who haven't, right? Fly your way out, you pay your way out. To the track in Spartanburg, where you will go spend a day, half a day, right? Probably a full day, but touring the factory, something we got to take advantage of doing, and then driving not your car, but their cars. So if you don't want to beat up your car, right, you're going to drive an M2.
That's the best part about
What,
it.
an M4, an M5 with carbon ceramics at the time, a
Yeah.
Z4, which was kind of a
Alias.
crazy vehicle to drive in that kind of atmosphere. But then you have a genius there, going to pick up everything, right? We process all your paperwork, so it's seamless. But yeah, and then if you want to ship your car back, ship it back. If you want to drive it back, have fun on the roads,
Go
you
through
do
the
that
dragon's
too.
tail.
But it's a great program, great experience. Doesn't cost anything, right? Definitely
Just got
something
it.
that
Yeah.
it's worth doing.
It definitely will give you a whole, in just any BMW that you purchase, you can get a free. I think it's a 2 or 4 hour class that you get complimentary from BMW for the purchase of a new BMW, where you can go down there and get a kind of dimmed down course on it. M cars do come with an M driver's school, so that's pretty cool. But I think the biggest thing too is what BMW has done in the past and how they're going towards the future. The good news is that BMW is not going to go away from their roots. They're just going to give the consumer options.